It is time. Sa hanya hanya hana mana 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 hanya mana mana hanya mana hanya mana mana hanya mana. You gotta start singing, Ricardo.
Man, no, I didn't want to steal your thunder, man.
Oh man, it's fine.
Okay.
Welcome to the Jetty Jet Stream Chat Show where everything happens craziness. How are you doing today? I'm gonna be your drawer today. And speaking with me today is Mr. Ricardo.
Hello.
I have returned.
And also
Oh.
Mr. Costa. Haha. How's everybody going? How you doing, Costa? Welcome to the show.
Yo, I'm chilling, man. How you?
Pretty good, pretty good. We have a good show for everybody here today. One of the best shows lined up for you because we have two amazing artists and speakers with us. We're going to be discussing all kinds of things, including art school and reasons for going, reasons for not going, reasons for everything related to the art industry. A lot of stuff to cover, and I'm going to be drawing these swords. I mean, look at these weak swords, but I will not go into detail because we're not here to learn how to draw swords, are we? Okay, first of all, thanks everybody for joining the show. I was 2 minutes late. I almost had it. Here we go. Go to sleep. I'm your mom. Hey, anyway, thanks everyone. Cruz, Christopher, and everybody else. Wrecked 90. First of all, let's look at this here. I have a list here. You got your food? You ate your food, Costa?
Yeah. I just got back.
Hello?
Actually, it was like perfect timing.
Oh no, I'm using the wrong earphones? Yeah, I am.
Jet.
Such a doo-doo head.
Jetty
Hello?
Jet.
Yep. Yes.
Share the link for the YouTube page because you didn't post it anywhere
Oh, okay.
around here.
Should
Oh,
be on your
sorry.
subscriptions.
Well,
Here it is. I sent it. It's on the outside chat for. Where
No, I think he's talking about the actual YouTube.
all right. Now I see it.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, okay.
So look at these swords. They're so janky, aren't they? Look all silly looking, but we're gonna make them look pretty. We're gonna try to make them look pretty. And what kind of swords? We're actually doing katanas. Ooh. So let's go right into the questions. What do we have here? We're gonna be talking about art school. Well, why don't you start it off, Costa? What do you have in mind?
With
When we were talking about this.
What earlier? When we were talking about like kind of how a lot of the people placed in positions that are teaching kids how to get ready for art school are totally way too focused on kind of building an ideology and methodology that has nothing to do with pursuing your own dreams, but being like kind of a drone for corporate IPs and whatnot, which is fine.
Let's try to sum that up. What would we call that? Like if you had like one title for all that, what would that be?
Concept art.
Okay,
Or
concept art.
or pipeline production.
Pipeline Productions. Sure.
We'll go with
Pipeline Productions.
We'll go with pipeline productions.
We'll go with
Why
Pipeline
do you
Productions.
you have a better term for it?
No, I don't. But it encompasses all of those ideas. So this is a little bit more serious talk today for some people who may be confused because it's probably one of the most popular questions we get, and it has complicated question, complicated answers, and the question is, should I go to art school? And there's just a lot to be said. So expectations versus experiences first on the list. expectations. Now, what do you expect out of school, first of all? How do you expect out of these institutions that promise you things? What do you expect out of it? With that.
Are you asking us?
Yeah, what about you, Ricardo? What did you
You know,
expect
dude,
out of it? Let's
I
just
would
say,
like.
for example, how hypothetically you wanted to go and you don't know anything about it, and you were just hopeful and just okay.
Well, I'm biased because I've been through the experience, so I'm influenced by my own experience. Uh, the reason why this question is so hard to answer is because it's so personal. You want to believe there's a standardized, like a very good wheeled machine, like that oiled machine that functions and that uh, I don't know, basically teaches you what you're going in to learn, right?
Right.
So I think you're the better person to answer first because you've actually been to art school.
Well, I want to tell you guys my experience, and I just want to see what you guys, because since you guys didn't go, what would you expect out of it then?
This was actually something that I was considering for a long time. Where
Right.
I was planning on going to art center in Cali, and I was working so hard. I even remember a time when I wanted to go to the Fang Zoo School of Design in Singapore. This was like really, really early on in my little art journey, and I really just wanted to get a lot of tools on like how to become better. How do I take these things out of my head and make them not only tangible on a canvas, but how can I take what I really want to do and make it appealing, on a high level. And I was hoping, that art schools were going to be able to provide that for me. I was expecting that they would teach me all the necessary fundamentals and ins and outs, and maybe connect me with some people and stuff. Like, this is when I was totally ignorant. That was what I expected. Was I was going to get what I couldn't get on my own. I was
And
going to
also,
get hands-on training.
I want to look at this conversation like this. We're not trying to preach anything or be like, oh, we know everything and these are your answers. It's just a discussion between three dudes. We're just sharing thoughts, and maybe our discussion will help you out along the way. If not, whatever. We're just talking, and it's our own opinions. It's not
Yeah,
like we
maybe an
for any.
alternative way of thinking of what's kind of being preached right now, because there is a lot of hilltop preaching that's happening right now in the art community.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
See, here's a good twist to how you can answer that question. Christopher Ning-Chen asked, "What did you get out of art school, Jet?"
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So, but let's start off with a quick expectation because this show is going to go for an hour. Try to squeeze all this up. I got 6 different points that we can talk about. So, I expected, for me, right, I was very ambitious, and I'm pretty sure many people will relate to this. So ambitious, I'm like, hey, I like anime, I like cartoons. I think I want to be an animator. I think I want to be an animator. I think that's what I want to do. And back in the day, the resources and information was limited, very limited. It was almost as if you're still relying on TV, not so much for the internet. Internet was there, but it was in its very infant stage. So for me, I just said I want to be an animator. You know what? I'm gonna go to art school and animation school, and you know what? I'll become an animator. But I had a very skewed idea. I said to myself, I have a story I want to tell. I'm gonna animate that story, not really understanding like, dude, you're one person. And I'm talking about feature length film. I'm talking about Disney type quality. I need to do me one of those. When I didn't realize really that's not an animator's job to do one of those. That's a team's job. That's everyone's. It's a large team. It's a production. It isn't one person. So I had this very kind of simplistic idea of what it meant to be an animator, and I wanted to go do art school because of that, because of animation. So that was my expectation. I'd go to school, and they'll teach me what I need to know, and I'll be in the industry. Get out, graduate, find a job immediately, because you know what? I'm gonna work my butt off, and I'll get a job in 2D animation. That's how it should work
Yeah,
in a
I see.
perfect world.
That's a really good point because I think I don't want to generalize or get into people's minds, but I think everyone has this very big romanticized idea of being an artist, and they're thinking like you. No, I want to produce like big things and be a really big freaking star or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
creator, the
maybe
creator
not
of
everyone.
everything.
But yeah, you want to be your own artist and do your stuff and really big dreams and all that. But I mean, if it's a school, they're going to teach you a craft. You're going to be part of. Maybe you're going to do freaking line work all of your life if that's your job. I mean, it's preparing you for having a job, not to be an artist.
Yes.
That's what they're going to, or at least that's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
It's like every other job. I mean, right? You can't be a doctor and a developer of like if you're the path in any other kind of line work. You can't be a big star and all of the sudden, like, that's your own path that you have to build. It's not a school that's going to teach you that. If that's your goal.
Yeah.
I mean, school is going to teach you a craft so you can use it and have a job, probably.
It teaches you really just how to work in that time frame of work, that the type of work that was available at that time in the very limited. We didn't have the type of jobs they had today. All the new type of media, like flash animations, and there's so many different, like, all kinds of jobs that school did not foresee, but it was supposed to train you for the future, kind of deal. But it did not teach you, most importantly, how to rely on yourself, like how to do it yourself, basically. It was yeah.
They're not. I don't see that coming from any of these camps. I don't see them showing you how to be better at being an artist. I see them exactly what Ricardo highlighted, that how to be a better worker, how to sit in that chair and get it done right. It's not about your vision, man.
No.
It's about what we're paying you for.
Yeah.
How to specialize
you know what?
in a position.
Yeah,
part of the machine.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a part of a machine that you support either, because that could be somebody's dream. You know, that working for Blizzard and having a hand at something that you grew up in, and like maybe doing some StarCraft art because StarCraft really changed your life, or working for Toei Animation, or I don't know if Toei's still doing Dragon Ball, but
or Ghibli or Disney, come on, man, or Pixar.
Yeah, like people will, they live for that because that's their dream. But I find more often than not, like, a lot of people just want to tell their stories, and like, yeah, you have your storyboarding classes and whatnot, but even those seem to be like, how are you going to pitch this? And very money oriented and very corporate, which denying the corporate aspect of making money is kind of, denying the corporate aspect of trying to put a brand name or developing an IP is like, it's stupid. I mean, it's fanciful. It's not pragmatic. But the fact of the matter is that you have entire camps of people and this very elitist mentality that really don't. It's not about the individual. It's about how well can you be a cog.
And here's the craziest thing. Here's the craziest thing. I guarantee you, majority of people who do work in the AAA companies did it on their own, and they didn't go to art school, or they really just got their foot in there, like, other ways. They funded the company, or they were just that good, and they got in there. And
well, yeah, we kind of only think about like the concept artist or the guy who wrote the thing, or like those are they're like the lead singers of a band. You have a guy that only works lights in one scene, and
or tracing every scene.
Yeah, and he started like everyone else. He went to art school and he did this amount of work, and his job is just working lights on a scene. His day job is this, just one single thing that he does for the rest of his life for money. And another guy does the texture, and another guy constructs the whatever. So we tend to only think of the lead singer, who would be the concept artist, or in case of animation, the guy who makes the drawings. I mean, but he only, even an animator, a lead animator, he would only do the key frames. He has a bunch of other artists to fill in the gaps, and those are there sitting down 8 hours or 10 hours a day just making boring stuff. And they do have a major, just to be able to work there, they had to have a really big journey behind them just to get there, to do that. I would consider it boring, because it doesn't correspond to the big dream of being like the lead artist or something.
What was the purpose then? You know, like, we're all artists, we're all trying to go down this individual path, and whether it's to tell our own stories or do fan art or be entrepreneurs in our own right with our own creativity or make tangible products that we just enjoy and want to share with other people. You know, if we're doing that, then what was the point of going through putting all
Dude,
that
it's not
money?
it's not about a point though. It's about what can happen. I mean, you can't have. I mean, how many artists that want to be like that you think there are? Millions.
Yeah. So exactly, when I went to art school,
there's not room for everyone's ideas, or there will be no consumption and there will be no product, because you don't have an audience for all of them.
So pulling back to the whole experience thing, now I can just jump. I need to tell you guys about the experience side of that. I mean, we pretty much summed up the experience, but for me, like, first-hand experience. Okay, so I went there, and it's just like Ricardo said. It's as if everyone is trying to be a lead singer. Everyone's trying to be the lead singer, and everybody has unique ideas, and everybody wants to tell a story. Yeah. It doesn't matter what field you're in. You're an artist. I have a story. There's this idea I have. Like, there's this one character, and this happens, and it's epic, and it's compelling, and they're just. But the thing is, they got it all wrong. They got it all wrong because they're running away from their story. They're going to become a more. Of course, there's going to be the lottery winner where one of them makes it and he does eventually tell the story. But that's the lottery winner. Everyone else becomes the cog in the wheel, or the part of the machine, and they never end up getting to work on their story. And that's where I realized that if I really want to tell my story, I need to tell it, and I need to just draw it like. In the fastest, most simple way, really, is writing it down first. Second, do a comic. I didn't realize that until I graduated. I didn't realize, shit, I should have been in like comic books or illustration to learn storytelling. I was in animation for the first year and a half, and then I went to concept design after that. So animation, concept design, but I want to tell my story. But now I'm already in debt. Now I can't work on my story. Now I have to pay off my debt, or find a job to sustain myself, and put aside my story. Oh, that story is going to be told. I'm going to tell my story, but in the meantime, I can't tell my story because I blew myself in the foot. And that's the thing. If anybody wants to tell their story, you have a story you want to tell. It's not. Don't do animation. That's if you want to animate. That's if you want to learn how to make things move. And that might be your passion. But if you really want to tell a story, which I've met so many people. Matter of fact, my cousin, I was begging him. I was like, don't do it. Don't go to art school, man. You shouldn't go to art school. He went to art school. He wanted to animate because he wanted to tell a story. He's thinking about rigging today. It's been 4 years. Didn't listen to me. It's gonna be a rigger, and it looks rough. It looks very rough because he didn't specialize in much of anything. He's got a lot of debt. Didn't specialize. Doesn't have a very strong portfolio, and that is really common. No one had a strong portfolio. No one get enough to make it into the industry. Only maybe one person. And I'm talking about AAA companies. The one that you went into school for. You went to school for that. Like, I'm gonna go in there, study hard, and become a an animator for Disney or Pixar. And every semester you get about one, two, if you're lucky.
But even still, like, let's imagine you became, and then you're starting there, and then 5 years down the road, you find yourself finally
Even
doing
still.
something.
Mhm.
But what was the difference between that and going to a corporate job and sitting down and doing data entry all day? What was the difference? Oh, well, you got to hold a pen this time? You got your name on some credits?
But that's exactly why we're having the conversation. People have to be aware of this.
I'm just highlighting. I'm highlighting that parallel.
Yeah, because then two things will happen. One is that they will turn into any other kind of repetitive, boring job, or they'll quit. If they don't have realistic expectations and they don't know what they're getting themselves into, and all the hard work they have to endure, they have to like that. If they want to really be on the top of their game, they need to enjoy the freaking pain all of the time. Because people tend to look at the finish line. I want to be there, but in order to be there, I have to go through all this trouble, and I really don't want to. That's the bottom line.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit to more experience on. So, what did the top students do at the end? What did they do? Maybe my idea is skewed because some might disagree. Maybe some had different experiences, but from what I've learned and what I've experienced, is that I'm saying 10% of the top 1% of the class. Okay, let's just get it right. I think the numbers, like, only 1% of the entire graduating class graduated. Okay,
Yeah.
and then only 10% of those kids. This is a worldwide statistic in art, in the art industry. Only 10% of the students of that 1% continue pursuing art, and that is exactly true. The only 10% of the 1% become actual, like, pursuing artists. So even if and what are those kids doing? What are those kids doing? Because I know the majority of them. We were kind of pretty close. In my class anyway. They're all making it. They're all making it by. But do you see the slim numbers? Oh my god. Oh my god. I have to show this now. This is it. This is it. I've always talked about showing this to you guys. And I'm gonna show it to you guys today. It's student work that were in my senior class, and I'll show you guys that. But,
you showed me that.
Yeah. So.
I think he was talking to the stream though.
Sorry.
But yeah, I was talking to you. I was talking to Ricardo. I mean, Ricardo. Yeah, I've showed you. But cool. Is that in there? Okay. And I'm not gonna say any names. There's no names. But okay. So for the rest of the students who made it and got okay jobs, they work for mobile companies, mobile app companies. Nothing super glorious or anything. They end up working on assets, little assets for games here and there, you know what I mean? Nothing major, you know what I mean? And jumping from job to job, some of the best students who were known to be like, they were the icon of the school. Everybody really loved the kids' works, and like they were held as the school's main freaking poster children. You know what I mean? They're the main promoters because of how talented they were. They got laid off from their jobs. I mean, even the best students were getting laid off. Like, so many of us had to go, like, move home. If they were foreign, I'd say more than half of them had to move home. There's only, like, 2 that I know that actually got to stay in America and work. So, it's tough. It's tough. So now that's what you got to face down. And for me, going into art school, let me tell you something. I went in there saying I was going to suck. I was hesitant of going. That's the mentality that I had. I was worried about my situation. I was actually like, man, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I'm good enough. I'm gonna be the weakest one. I was really intimidated. There's Ross. So bring it in, Ross. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Mute my mic, right?
Yeah, you can mute it. It shouldn't be that bad. But do you want to talk a little about your experience in art school?
Is the noise fine, or should I?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Sure.
It's pretty. There's a yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
I think Ross should definitely chime in though.
Yeah, chime in while I look for the artwork, because I'm looking for some artwork.
All right.
So your expect your experience of art school.
My experience with art school. I think it'd be better if I chimed in like in minutes.
Okay. Okay. You guys go ahead, and I'll do this. How about this? We'll go on to the next topic. This one's an easy one. Do you need a degree? No, none of the teachers need a degree. None of my friends need a degree. No one's. I've never been asked for a degree. I got about 6, 7, 10 different jobs. None of them asked for a degree. They look at your art, and that's what matters. Degree doesn't matter if you want to be, like an artist. You just got to be good. If you want a job, you got to draw. Makes sense. Costs versus benefits.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
In terms of the degree, hold on, let me see if I can scroll up. Polar had a question a little while ago,
Good.
and like it kind of relates to that. It was on the topic of art school. I'm trying to teach myself art by practicing the fundamentals. I attend figure drawing sessions every week. I put the time, effort, but the one problem I have is knowing in which order should I study, practice things. I practice daily, but it feels like complete chaos, and it's very hard to keep track of my actual progress. Any suggestions for that? And that's actually also piggybacking on what somebody else was saying earlier. Hold on. The reason why they would go to art school is to get the structure. That these school. To be honest, I'm going to art.
No, that's good. No, because my next question was
Alba.
cost versus benefits, because I did benefit from it.
Yeah, that's kind of the segue. But again, you should definitely tap on the point of like, is it really worth it? Because the amount of time actually spent from that structure to get to the position you're probably going to wind up in if you just come out the gate and not go to art school is like you're now looking at 6 years to get into the same position as opposed to right now. You know what I mean?
And it's not just art students. It's pretty much all the kids who went to college in our generation. A lot of people who didn't go to college are in so much better shape now. That's actually fact. Kids who didn't go to art school, didn't go to college, are in better shape because they don't have massive amount of debt. They don't have huge amount of debt. They actually come out okay because you know what, they can actually have kids. They can actually start buy a house. They can actually start their life. Whereas kids like me get out of college now have to work on the debt. It's like I'm having a mortgage but not having a house.
Yeah.
And look at the reality of actually what ends up happening. And this is like everybody's freaking. This is so many really talented artists' stories. And if any of you guys ever go to a convention, ask them where they came from, who they worked for, and whatnot. This is generally what happens. They go to art school. They get out of art school. Maybe they're lucky and they get a job right away. Maybe they don't. They have to work a part-time job somewhere, or they have to get a job doing something else while they're doing their art on the side. They're posting it online. They're making their art online, trying to self-promote, get the portfolio together. They get the job. It's a temporary gig. They no longer have the job. They can get let go. It's just the contract is done. They pick up another contractual agreement. Then there's time in between. So then they continue making more personal works, fan arts that they sell on Society 6 or at conventions and whatnot. And then they continue to kind of make ends meet by jumping to the next job, never really getting an in-house position. Then a couple years down the road, they have a large enough portfolio that they may be able to get an in-house position or an art direction position if they're super lucky. But most of them end up falling back because they see the monotonous drive. So some of them actually just drop out completely, or most of them start going into the self-publishing route, which they could have started all the way in the beginning without all the debt. You know what I mean? So they spent all this time fighting the debt, or all this time trying to find their place in the art world, learning all this stuff, only to find out that they wanted to open up their own school, or they wanted to teach themselves, or they wanted to make fan art, or they opened up a Patreon. It's like all these things that you see so many of these artists doing that are successfully doing, they either do with a whole bunch of experience of jumping in and out of companies like crazy to settle debts that they previously had, or they're doing it right out of the gate, said screw the corporate world, then they have a strong enough portfolio and they're competing exactly the same way for those in-house art direction positions with the kids who graduated. But again, no more debt. They have more. They can save if they need to, take those jobs if they need to, and because they have that they're not losing a third of their paycheck. I mean, they're not losing you know, an additional $400 every month, like paying
Or,
an extra rent or an
I
extra
think you're
mortgage.
breaking up. Is it just me, or is it Costa breaking up?
Was I breaking up?
No, I got all of that.
Oh, okay. Um,
All right, so let's go right into the part where, because I'm not even drawing. I'm like trying to find the files. I got the files, but I got the files ready. But I'm gonna show them you after we talk about the benefits of it, because there are benefits, but they outweigh pretty much. Okay, we already talked about the financial costs. Sure, but let's talk about the things I did learn. Okay, I'll tell you right now, a third of the classes were everything. That's where I learned all my valuable lessons in terms of art. And they were really the fundamentals. So I was able to study, like, understand figure drawing. Took a figure drawing class, a form and analysis, which is learning how to render shapes. You know what a core shadow is. I mean, you can look that up on the internet. It literally tells you in this class we're going to study core shadows today. We're going to study where the local light is. That is like the first class you take. Okay. Color and design. Perspective. I list these like these titles, but all these classes you can find them on your own. But let's just again focus. These are benefits. I did learn a lot from these classes, and the teachers were phenomenal. I love them. They're freaking awesome. These teachers from these classes, specific classes, because I'll tell you right now, the rest of the classes I didn't need, and they're actually more detrimental because they were taught by people who had kind of like egos and different, I don't know, alternative motives and stuff, and they're just different basically, and they were actually a little more harmful than helpful. So let's just go back. The teachers who were helpful, they were freaking amazing. They cared and they knew. They looked in your eyes and they said, "I feel your pain. Help you as much as we freaking can," and they know that you're going to be in a lot of debt. They know this, and they want to teach you everything you can. And the kids who take advantage of this are the kids. Okay, and it was every single time I had these teachers, I knew like right away that these were the ones that made it worth it, you know. But again, only a third of the class. The rest were, number one, were bad teachers or useless classes. And that just means like classes like I took sociology, for example. I took anthropology. I took a couple science classes, and you know what I mean. They're not art related. They're just not art related. And I took a lot of them. And in order to fill it, I just BS. I bullshitted. I just want to fucking take a class to get these requirements filled. Take art history. Take movie history. Take comic book history. Sorry, you know, they sound fun, but it's either that or something, you know, boring. So $3,000 to study some comics. I mean, just talk about comics. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about modern. It's like as if I'm sitting there reading through Wikipedia. Every class is just Wikipediaing everything. That's pretty much what it is. And then you take a test on, not really tests, just like short little papers, short little responses, because they were always online classes. When they were not art related, they would be online. But anyways, so that's the experience of that. A third of the classes were valuable. Friends, great friends. I mean, I had a lot of great friends. Some of them snubbed me today. That's fine. You know, people be people. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. But overall, I wouldn't call it networking either, because I haven't once ever got a job from friends from art school either. So the notion that, oh, you get jobs through networking. I know people who have networked and got jobs from me. Every job that I got was actually was because of my drive to make it on my own. Like I tried to apply to all these different places, but it didn't work that way. It only worked when I began to focus on myself and do the things I liked. That's when it started working. And that's what happens with a lot of artists. A lot of popular artists right now and deviant artists, they just do what they like, draw what they love, and then they get work. What do you know? Isn't that crazy? That's a crazy concept. Okay. This is not going to stop a lot of people from going. You go. If you have the money, go. I mean, I'm not. Okay, I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to preach. Tell you guys what to do.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Now
have
get
the,
ready. Here's the
if you have
drawings.
the
You
money.
want to add something?
Hmm?
You want to look at the drawings now?
Yes, let's do that.
Here we go. So these are the drawings from my fantasy illustration class. Okay, we're talking about fantasy illustration. This is my senior year, my last year. All the students were senior students. Okay, if not, then juniors or whatever. Some of them graduates. Let me show you. We'll start off with the good one. Which one of my close friends that I started school with, and these are the ones you meet and you know they're gonna make it regardless. So him. All right.
That's like a senior, right? Like a finalist.
He's a senior. No, this is not final. This is rough draft. So you need a rough draft.
No. He's sorry.
Yes,
we
yes.
used the term finalist. Like he was ending. Like he was getting through college, right? Last year. Final projects and stuff.
Seniors, as in seniors. Yeah, this is their last year. This is the last year before they graduate. He will graduate with me.
Yeah.
Okay, now, so we're in the same class together. Cool. Let's look at the rest of the students. These are the rest of them, okay? There's only like 8 students. Okay? That is a senior. This is their rough draft for their assignment. Okay. Here's another one. This is a rough draft for an assignment, okay? So
Oh wow, that actually just pieced like together. When I first saw it, I saw something completely different.
okay, so you take a topic that was given or prompt by the teacher, they provide it, and they go, hey, here you go. Okay, choose a topic. Now go home and try to come up with an idea, come back to me, show me. And this is what I mean when a teacher cares. You go back to the teacher, and they look at you like, why? Why are you here? Like, why are you even here? And why are you still here?
Wow.
Okay.
Damn, bro.
Now this guy actually turned into a fine arts artist who turned out pretty good too. But this is an assignment of 2 dragons facing each other, 2 dragons facing outwards. You can tell there's really no structure or concept of silhouettes or form or not very much of anything really. Just really abstract.
The colors kind of look. Yeah, they're not. I don't know.
You can't really understand
Maybe
what it is at first sight.
I'm trying to find something there. I can't.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is another one.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah. So there it is. There's actually one other student who I know personally too that was a good friend of ours. So who I didn't collect work from, but that day, the reason why I have that's
How
the
many
folder
years?
that
How many years? How many years was that?
Some of them are 5 years there. Some of them are 6 years at art school.
Dude, my God.
Okay. I was 4 years because I spent 3 years at City College. Okay. Okay. So, I won't name
wait.
this school
Arts Vanguard, I think, put it best. The actual fuck did your school do for these students?
The thing is, okay.
They kept their money, that's for sure.
The actual thing, so now you feel the rage. Okay, now imagine spending over 70,000.
Dude,
in my case.
that's one point that I have to make.
Yeah.
That I have to make. If you're a senior, you're 6 years, 5 years in, and you can't see that that's really like amateur, beginner level stuff, you have no business in being.
I'm friends with the teacher, man. If this gets around and they show this around, I'm friends with the teacher on Facebook. These are his students. These are facts. I'm not making them up. These are facts.
But I mean, they're gonna get out there and put that kind of stuff out there, and they're gonna be laughed at.
They weren't put out there, but yeah, they were assignments for class. None of them are pursuing art except one of them, you know. But yeah.
Well, if that's their final work, I mean. Right after that, they're probably going to be searching for a job or something.
So yeah,
And
I'm
they're
sitting
gonna-
there. I'm sitting there, and this is what I'm sitting there. Really, like, why? First of all, I'm angry at the fact that, like, why aren't they improving? And then I'm just like, what about me? What does that put me? It's like, why am I here for? It's like it. You see, like, the difference in level of skill, you know, in terms of, like, me. You know what I mean? I'm not talking like I'm the shit or anything, but I'm trying to say the school didn't make these kids. The school didn't make these kids, and that's one of the things that these schools do, is that they showcase the students' works who go in there with this ability, and they're helped. They learn.
And what is this? Oh, hold on, real quick.
Mhm.
And this is what you told me about this once, and I thought it was insanely seedy. So you've been doing your own thing, trying to make your own path through life, doing what you do, right?
Right.
And then what did your school do recently? They gave you a call, right? They gave you a call to check up on you and see how you were doing, so that, like, if you made it, they could take credit for it.
Yeah, they did check up on me. But here's the thing: during the school, we have this thing called a spring show. So pretty much, they take a credit for all the great works that you see. You go to any website, you'll see the best, top-notch works, and they're just students who pretty much paid the school in order to do work for the school and make the school look great. The school didn't make the kids. The kids made themselves, and they would have made themselves regardless whether they went or not. You saw the difference between the students. So it's like, if you're determined and you want to learn, you can learn on your own, and that's pretty much the point of that, and that's really all there is to say about it. What else? What else?
I mean, that says a lot more
Yeah, yes.
about the teachers than the school itself, though, too. I mean, if you call yourself a teacher and you have students on your last year producing
That's not
that
responsibility
kind
of
of
the
stuff.
teacher, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, that
Hold on.
it is. It is. I mean,
I wanna hit-
they do guide themselves by a code of ethics, so it is the students, the teacher's fault a lot.
Watch this. Let
I
me
mean,
show you.
first of all, for taking a job like that. Second of all, for allowing a student to graduate with that kind of level out
No,
of
let me explain to you, because I have a story. I have a story for that, and it's funny.
Yeah, Costa, I'm listening. This is Peter, by the way. I'm Aaron's roommate, and I'm listening. And I want to join your conversation. Can I join your conversation?
Ooh, you want to talk? Sure.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, I just
Say
want
something.
to listen. I just want to listen.
Oh,
Hi.
go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Peter. Costa, who's Costa?
I'm
Oh,
over
shit.
here.
Oh, shit, are you gonna contribute to what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Invite
Yeah.
me. I want to hear it.
All right. So, okay.
What are we talking
Let me just. Yeah.
Another Ross moment. Yeah, no, I got you, man.
No,
I got
no,
you. Wait, what are we talking about?
No, you can't.
about? Conversation, dude. Give me a break.
I'm live streaming, by the way, like in front of an
Cool.
audience. So we're talking about some serious stuff right now.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
listening all ears.
Okay. You can listen, and if you have something to say, we'll have you add
Okay.
something. But
Thank you.
okay. So
What's the topic of the day?
I lost the track of my thought. Train of my thought.
Oh,
We were talking about. Ricardo was talking about how teachers are held to an ethical standard.
Oh,
and you were
okay,
saying,
great.
No,
Right, so,
the topic is, I think he doesn't even know the topic of the
oh no, don't worry
conversation.
about the topic. Don't worry about it. We're just talking, and yeah, don't worry about it. It's just about school. In our,
That's not me talking. I didn't blame the teachers.
What about school?
No, hold on a sec.
Costa,
So,
what do you think about school?
can you mute yourself, Russ?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty. That's rude, man. I'm trying to make a point here. So, basically, I'm sorry, dude. You're cool and all, but I really gotta get this point across. Because we got like 10 minutes left on the show. But basically, Ricardo, you said, it's the teacher's fault. Yeah, I understand that, and to a degree there were times it was the teacher's fault where they just let the kids pass, they let the kids through, right?
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing: I had teachers, like I said, the ones that cared, right, who held the kids back like 4 or 5 semesters in a row.
Mhm.
What's that gonna do for the kid when the kid he's still stuck in perspective 1, and he's taken the class 4 times, 4 times 3, that's $12,000 for a perspective class.
Well, yeah, that's why good education doesn't follow the lines of heavy capitalism. I mean, it's against. I mean, they're conflicting ideas.
Yeah.
Your goal can't be make money and at the same time produce very high quality people at their jobs. Because you have to do that. You have to stop them from being bad, and so you have to maybe have to retain them for a while. Because we are people. Some people learn faster. Some people learn very slowly, and that doesn't mean that slow learner won't be the best at their job. You can't have an holistic approach in a capitalism, in a capital point of view. I mean, they're conflicting ideas.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the thing is, it's like, crap, I'll just fucking let you pass, you know what I mean? It's like, what am I going to do? The kid's going to take the class again and fail again. He doesn't try.
Yeah.
Come to class, I can't fucking do anything for him. So it's like, just either let him pass or keep him in the same class and make him waste all his money. It's pretty,
Exactly.
yeah, so yeah, that was that. All right, Peter, what did you have to say? You have any comments on that? What do you think about shitty teachers?
Well, honestly, it depends on what you're really looking for. To me, a shitty teacher, it depends on you as a student. If you see him as a shitty teacher, and it's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up to your point of view. But you know what? It's different for everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
So.
No, but I was talking about because Jetty was showing like the outcome of 6 years of studying and the result, like senior students having the level of beginners, and I said that for me it's a big part is the blame falls on the teachers that allow someone to be a beginner when they're graduating. I mean, a teacher, if it follows a code of ethics, won't allow a student to be shitty, like to be mediocre.
Right. That's.
The teacher, you know what? It's their job to it's up to them. It's up to you at the end of the day. It's not. They're gonna make a lot of rules at the end of the day. You can't do this. You can't do that. But you know what? It's up to you. You're in a creative world. You're in a creative major. You can do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let the teacher stop you from doing what you want to do.
Okay.
No, yeah, but if you call yourself a teacher, you should live to that name, right?
I agree. There should be a standard held before you're considering a student a graduate, and that same token that holds the teacher to a standard, which means the teacher holds a student to the standard, but it's on the student in order to meet that standard.
Yeah.
But the problem was, and this is where Ricardo is kind of pointing out, is that obviously if these people are 5 or 6 years in and they're producing work like that, even in its rough period, of course we didn't get to see it polished, but those were rough. They shouldn't have been. They were not meeting any type of industry standard to say that they're ready to go out into the workforce. So there should have been a stop on that.
Costa, is the teacher stopping you from doing what you want to do?
Dude, that's completely besides the point.
At the end of the day, it's not about what the teacher is teaching you. It's what the teacher wants.
No, Peter, I think you're missing the point. Listen to what we're talking. Okay, so what we're talking about is kids who are in their senior level. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Senior level, who are trying to go into a art industry with $120,000 in debt. That's majority of students. $120,000 in debt. You're graduating with this level of art, and you're looking to work in the field of art. So do you see my screen?
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, we're just talking about right now. Teachers need to hold back these kids. If they care about them, they should hold them back and keep them from going any further. Otherwise, they're just gonna. Huh?
I don't think they really care though. Because
No. They do. That's what we're saying. There's some teachers who do, and then there's some teachers who don't. They're just trying to get paid at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And where I'm talking about is we had teachers who did care. And let me share with you the teachers who did. And these teachers, they do not give A's, okay? Everybody fails. Only one kid gets an A. And I'll tell you this, I got the A. And that was how it worked. Because I cared. The homework assignment,
are you going to judge your success based on that A? Based on that one person thinks?
No, that's that. You're completely missing the point. You're completely missing the point. What we're trying to say is, I got the A because the teacher said this. If you want an A, you need to put 30 hours into the drawing. Now, if you're juggling 6 classes,
Mm-hmm.
Doing 30 hours is really difficult. But I made it happen, and I went forward. Now, other kids who majority of the class, C's. Okay, now the kids who get the C's, they are pretty much they need to be held back, because if they keep going forward and at their senior level and they're still working at this level, then they're screwed. Their life is screwed because they have all this debt. They didn't learn much, and you know what I mean. I think what we're trying to say is it's the teacher's job to go, hey, this isn't for you. You failed the class. You have 2 chances to take the class. If you fail it twice, don't go to school. Don't go to our school. But they can't, because the schools is in their best interest. They're trying to make a profit. They're trying to make money for the school. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I talking to Jeff?
Jeff.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. So if a teacher gives you an F, whatever class you're taking,
right?
Are you gonna let that person affect what you're passionate about?
Here's what I'm saying. If the teacher gives me an F, that's a sign to me that I need to work harder.
Okay.
And I said, if you don't work harder, then you need to pass the class. That's the goal. If you don't work harder and you can't pass the class, you need to quit. Because it's expensive. That's what we're saying to these kids. All these kids who are watching, I'm trying to let them know art school's expensive. You need to rethink this.
Yes,
You should do art.
Why would you find yourself in 60 to 200? What is it? A 4 year, so 250 odd some $1,000 debt for art center or something like that? Why would you pay a house like? Okay, there's a lot of people complaining about not having proximity. Like you go to school for the camaraderie, the proximity, the structure. It's like for the amount you're paying over a 4 year period, you can move wherever any artist is. Period. And then you can get the structure, and you don't have to. You can find out just on your own if this is right for you.
I think one of the things that school is supposed to do is give you tools. It doesn't matter how you use them, but give you tools.
I agree with every song.
Give you exposition of what the world of the industry you're trying to get in is, and give you role models.
Yes.
And I think this is one of the biggest things that, for everyone in any area of the world to succeed, is having look up to someone.
Yes.
And if possible, talk to them and freaking steal their thoughts. I mean, it was Picasso who said, right? A really good artist doesn't copy; he steals.
Right.
And this applies to everyone.
Yes.
If you can suck their brains out, that's one of the major things to do. And a cool thing is, a lot of these people wrote freaking books, and their works are out there for you to see and to look and to study. But it requires someone who knows how to freaking study and learn. Not everyone is suited, and not everyone is equipped with the discipline to follow that path on their own, and they need guidance, and that's where the school is supposed to fit in. But
Operative
normally they don't.
operative word being supposed to. Continue.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one thing.
Okay, what I was trying to get at is the fact that like you got this far, and I'm pretty sure that your parents, your friends, went against you from taking this major, from doing what you want to do. They always told you, oh, art, that's not gonna get you anywhere. You went through all of these negatives, you went through all these hardships, but what I was trying to get at is like, are you gonna let one teacher affect your decision, what you want to be? You
I
know,
think you're missing, the point entirely, Peter. You're missing the point entirely.
Well, hold on. We're not necessarily talking. Like, personally, I didn't go to art school. Ricardo didn't go to art school. Jet did. What we're doing right now is we're trying to talk to. We're bringing up the subject because we had a conversation earlier, and we were just kind of bringing it to Jet's audience's awareness of kind of what's going on in art school, what to expect, what not to expect. And Jet was sharing his experiences and kind of like this positive, negative.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I'm going to be against it. But like going to art school, if somebody is going to make a giant sacrifice in order to do it. For instance, it's not worth the sacrifice. It's kind of what argument we're kind of going back and forth on, and we're just trying to take an objective look at what art school is really about.
Okay, so Peter, here's what I'm saying. If I'm in high school and my teacher said, hey, you'll never be anything, I'm gonna be like, fuck you, I'm gonna be the best fucking artist I've ever known. I'm gonna be the best. I wanna go to City College. I go to City College. You're crap. You're crap. You shouldn't go to art school. I'm like, fuck you, I'm going to art school. I'm going to be amazing. I'm going to be amazing. And I agree with you. That's fine. You don't let the teacher tell you anything. But then when you go to a class and you paid $3,000 and you failed it because you weren't good enough,
exactly.
And we're talking about skill-wise, it's because the teacher cares about you. That's what I'm trying to say. Teachers who will fail you care about you. Because if they make you go forward, you're going to have $120,000. They're trying to dissuade you from continuing. They're saying, all right, you weren't up to par, okay? We told you needed to do 30 hours. Looks like you did 2 minutes. You did this before class. Did this before class, and you turned it in. I'm going to have to fail you because you don't care about this enough.
I understand.
And, yes. So, because by the end of the day, when I have classmates in my senior year drawing things like this, this is what I did when I was second grade. This is a grown adult in their senior year, and they're drawing like this in their senior year. So that means they're already in $120,000 of debt. So what do you tell them? Yeah, you should pass. You should pass. But what we're trying to what we're trying to say is, there should be like management during the whole step of the way. In a perfect world, where schools actually cared about the students, they wouldn't let them get to that point. They wouldn't let you be a senior and draw like that. Do you know what I mean? You should be aware of yourself, or the teacher shouldn't let you go that far, basically.
Hold on, because this has happened more than once where people are getting names confused. I listen to my voice. I'm Costa. Ricardo, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ricardo. Waveloop, whatever you want to call me.
Jet, everybody knows what Jet's voice is, and Peter is with Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't necessarily say that. I was just saying that what I was trying to say is just, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what teacher, whoever, whatever the hell they say, it's what you believe in. You know, you can pay as much as you want in college to graduate in an art school, in a renowned art school, but at the end of the day, it's up to you what you want to be. It's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at, I'm sorry, but what I'm trying to get at is, it's up to you what you want to be. It's not it's not what's based on what teacher wants you to be.
I agree completely.
I'm sorry.
Actually, Peter, that's actually a good point. I know. But what the reason it's a good segue, because what kind of originally brought this up was when me and Jet were talking earlier about how some of these how a lot of these teachers and whatnot are not going to, or a lot of these camps or ideologies, and it's not even just in art school, it's everywhere. It's everybody who's taking a stance.
Hold on. Jet, Costa, you guys are, I don't even know who you guys are, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are really creative guys. But you know what? What I was trying to get at, I don't want you guys to limit yourself based off of a grade, an A or a B. You guys are better than that. You
No,
guys are
but nobody's
Dude,
saying
are you,
that.
I'm just
Nobody's
wondering,
saying
you're
that.
drunk,
I don't
man.
want you guys I don't want you guys to level your experience. I don't want you guys to level your talent based off of what your teacher wants to give you.
All right.
That's what
Thanks,
we
man.
just told you. I
No,
didn't
point
even
taken,
book
point
that.
taken. Peter, I would love if you watch the video over. Hopefully, you can watch it from the beginning to the end. That would be awesome because you're in this video, man. There's gonna be some people watching it. Russ, can you mute it now? Because we're gonna move on to the next subject. Thanks a lot, Peter.
Yeah. Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. No, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will feel what you feel as well, Peter. So thanks a lot for those thoughts. And I agree. You shouldn't let anybody freaking tell you
Yeah,
what you
he's
can
got
and
a
can't
point
do.
though on what
Yeah.
he's saying. That's why I myself entirely believe that you don't need art school. If you have the tools to do it on your own, you don't need art school for. I mean, at least the standard idea of the art school that I get from people who actually go there. If you have the necessary tools and you. But again, I'm biased because I didn't go to art school, but I did go to school. So I got a lot of my base, my discipline out of my journey through schooling. So
I don't
I
think
learned
people
how to
should
learn.
go to-
I think it's important to learn how to learn. That you need to be taught that.
Yeah, I don't think people should go to college. I think that's a necessary life experience that people should go and do, and I think they should. I think they should explore their options because there's people that like maybe they're better suited somewhere else. Like people should be exploring, especially at an age like 18. They should be exploring. That's a time for exploring life. Maybe even taking a couple years off and then going to college.
But I mean, college was for me. It was great to do that. Exactly that, to explore.
Yeah. I'm just saying, art school in particular is probably, and there's so many. It's probably not the best idea, but there are so many alternatives. There's the RTAs out there.
Yeah.
There's sketch groups. You can get mentors. You can. I mean, I met all of you guys just because I was in the right place at the right time a couple years ago, just talking to the right people and just putting myself out there. And that was when I mean, I'm still not the best, not even that great in my opinion. I got strengths, but I mean, like that was when I was learning, like at the core beginning where a lot of people are at right now, or where a lot of kids. I was at 26 years old, where kids are at when they're 17 or 18, and like some of the 17, 18-year-olds are better than me right now. But even still, like it was a matter of creating opportunities for myself to meet people, and then I got mentorship, and then I got critiqued in the right type of way. I never barged into anywhere. I just showed up and put myself out there. And it's like I could have gotten that in art school, but I saved so much more. And I was going to college at the time when I met you, Ricardo. You remember?
Yeah.
I was going to college at the time. And
The only way I see an art school at this level of in the private school working is if the school itself has a line of production inside the industry, like they're related to the industry, because then they can't afford to produce low-level artists. I think that's the only way you can have a school directing. Okay, there's no bullshit now. You really have to get out of here knowing how to do this, because our production relies on that. That's the only way I see being legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what I was trying to bring up earlier was kind of the school, and I'm gonna repeat I hate it when I repeat myself like verbatim. But the schools of thoughts that come from kind of what he was talking about shouldn't matter. I mean, even though Peter was off topic, he was still on topic. Yeah,
because that's what we're fighting for. We want you to do the things you want to do. We want you to pursue your dreams and pursue yourself. Most importantly, just do yourself. Be the artist you want to be, and not rely on these teachers. That's exactly what we were trying to say. but it was conflicting in context. It was off topic.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's gonna be, and you're gonna see this. I'm not going to say names, but you're gonna see this. You're when you guys are exploring your options, you're gonna see a lot of people out there that are gonna be standing up on that rightfully earn their spots on their pedestals, but they're gonna tell you a lot of things about the industry and AAA studios and whatnot. And you know what? If you want to go in that route, listen to them. Take from them whatever you can. I mean, the world is kind of against you right now as artists. I'm not saying in like a negative way. It's just this is not an easy life to be an artist. There's a lot of compromises and sacrifices that have to be made. It's not going to be as simple as getting a 4-year degree and walking straight in, but it's worth it. It's worth every little bit of it. I believe that. But a lot of people are going to try to sell you the formula of how to get to like the top tier, how to work for the AAA studio. You gotta work in this production pipeline, and they're gonna ask you to compromise more than maybe you're willing to, and don't. Even if you just gotta shake your head and nod, whatever you do, don't join that sort of cult mentality of like this elitist.
Don't say. Don't even worry about don'ts. They'll make their own decisions. People will make just whatever. Yeah.
No, I ignore the don't part, but take it for what it is. Like there's a lot out there, and try to see it instead of the don't. Try to also look for maybe other ways of thinking.
No, that's what I'm
about
trying to say right now. Because see, here it goes again. You're giving advice versus us discussing amongst each other.
Yeah. My bad.
It becomes to try to do this, try to do that, try to do this.
I'm totally being a hypocrite. It's so hard not to.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine.
I think one of the problems, and this is a personal opinion though, is that we now live in the how-to-dos era. Like, I don't know how it is to grow in this generation because I'm already from another generation. I didn't grow up with the internet. I did got internet when I was a teenager still, but it didn't have the impact that it has right now. And everyone is depending on other people to, let me learn how to do this. Here's a guy who's going to teach me how to do this. And there's another guy who's going to teach me how to do this. And the problem and I'm not criticizing, on the contrary, I like how to do movies or information, but what you don't see in the how to do movies is the how to don't do movies. Because for someone to figure out how to do something, there's a whole path that they had to go through, that if you only see the how to do movie, you're not going to learn. And in my opinion, that's actually the stuff you should be doing. Failing and trial and error and all that good stuff that people now are afraid of, and they run away like their life depends on it.
Yeah.
You have to go through the hard times. You have to be able to compromise.
As far as how-to-dos, yes, it's a how-to-do culture, and I think that what I can do as a tutor or tutorial guy, I can teach you how to draw a figure, but it's what you do with the figure that counts. I can't tell you what to do with it. Same with art school. They can teach you how to draw certain things, but what do you do with that information? See, what you learn, I mean, you can gain all that knowledge anywhere else, but it's what you do with it that counts. For example, if I taught you how to make a wheel, and what else? A pulley, a rope. I tell you how to make a rope and a wheel. Now you got to invent something out of that. There's all these different options, but it's what you do with it. I can only show you how to make the wheel. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's really a really short little metaphor for life, I guess, and anything. Somebody was talking about a bunch of art. There's like art fields. There are comic book artists, concept artists, storyboard artists, children's artists.
View vet.
Move it on. What about?
Yeah. he or she, that viewer was saying that it would be better if we were tackling those specific fields. But what we're essentially trying to do is have a discussion on the yeah, I hate saying it, but fundamental principle behind making choices, and and kind of what, because whether you're going to look at scenic artists or whether you're going to work for being a comic book artist or a concept artist, the path in terms of what you need to understand, like in terms of, I can't believe I'm saying it again, fundamentals, is going to be different, obviously. You're going to need to know something differently for each one of these things. But the decision-making process and following the path and sort of the adversity that you're going to face, whether you're trying to be a concept artist or whether you're trying to be an illustrator or whether you're trying to work for, a AAA, I say that in quotes, comic book agency. Why the fuck can't publisher? That's what I was looking for. Whatever you're going to go down, I mean, unless you're going down a freelance route altogether, you're generally going to face adversity in the same type of way, and in every one of these fields. And whether your teacher's teaching you how to make 3D models or they're teaching you how to storyboard, it's always kind of going to be the same sort of grinder. There's parallels that happen between all of these paths that are kind of universal. You can have a graphics artist sitting right next to an illustrator, and they talk about their freelance clients and what kind of clients they've had. It's pretty much the same complaints all around the board, and that's kind of why we're not just talking about a specific subject, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, segueing into the last subject. We're a little bit over an hour, probably 14 minutes, but this is the last one. Profession versus hobby.
There you go.
So, profession
That's a good
versus
segue.
hobby. That's it. So, after knowing all of this and all this information, so where do you take it? Do you get a job or you just do it for fun? Well, I can only talk for my own experience, right? And here it goes. If at the end of the day, man, you want to work for somebody, do it. For me, I don't particularly care for working for other people. I need to pay for my debt. So I kind of have to make money, and why not just do it? Making art. And luckily, I'm one of the people who kind of made it out and am doing the things I love.
Hey guys.
These enjoyable. Yeah.
Are you guys busy right now, or?
Yeah, we're streaming.
Wait, what, sir?
We're in the middle of the stream.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So what topic are you guys in?
Oh, profession versus hobby.
Okay.
What do you think?
When you guys are free, I'd like to jump in what Peter had to say. I think we all misunderstood it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Good. Right, shoot.
So I gave him the scenario, right? I'm like, all right. So if this really shitty karate kid with a red belt, right, is paid $1 million to try to become a black belt, would you, as an instructor, as a black belt, graduate that shitty person who paid $1 million into a black belt, right?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah,
that was good.
like that's a perfect analogy, I think. And he's like, and I told him maybe it's the teacher, like the black. Your job also is to tell, hey, I think you can become a black belt. You should save your money before you spend too much of it. And he's like, it's not about the money. It's about just doing what you love. And he told me as a reference. He's like, Ross, you never told me I can't do anything. And he's like, just do what makes you happy. So I would tell that kid, dude, just do what makes you happy. If you think that's worth it for you, like, do it. Because at the end of the day, it's what you believe in and what makes you happy. And if you believe you can get that black belt, you're going to keep on trying and you're going to, like, push yourself.
Yeah, but I do, but that's like black and white. There's a lot of gray in there that you have to discuss. I mean, if a black belt sees a guy that's, oh, I'm a black belt now because I just graduated, and he's not, he's gonna have a really big fall. So that's why I was saying that it's the responsibility of the teacher to say to him, you're not a black belt yet, and if you want to be a black belt on your own, that's fine. But here, right now, you're not a black belt. As a teacher, it's responsibility to alert him to that.
I'm right there with you. I think teachers, especially as
because it's really a good philosophy to do what you like and follow your dreams. But if you're so far off that even the dream you have in your head, it's not gonna work. Because
I think also people should learn to fall really hard, and that's the only.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's a really good point too.
But I mean, if you can. I mean, what's the point? You're not going to be making the wheel every single time. If there's someone that already made the wheel, then he can teach you how to make a wheel, right? You can't. If someone is in a position to help you, to lift you up, why wouldn't they, right? That's that's how culture functions. We learn from each other. We learn from who learned before us, and we add to that, right?
I believe I was in this situation. Because I moved to Los Angeles to pursue acting, right? And I thought I was going to be a great actor, and all my friends said I was going to be a great actor, and I have great intuition and stuff like that. And so I paid thousands of dollars to attend acting classes, and all my friends were great. We had scenes and everything like that. No one told me I couldn't make it. Even if the teacher, like in the class, of course there are bad students in there, but it's not. I don't think it's the teacher's job to say you're not going to become a great actor, but maybe they'll give them the tools to say, hey, you can improve on this, you can improve on that, you can improve on this, we'll move you up and stuff like that. But I was never had any negative comments or feedback, which led me to grow the way I grew, and to choose a different journey or something like that. But I think comments when a teacher or someone higher up that you respect give you, hey, you're not there yet. Sometimes it can be discouraging for a person, depending where they are in life. And I feel like maybe you should always just be encouraging, but not like pushing it in a way where.
I'm not saying a teacher has to be ruthless and say you're not going to do it and you're a suck. That's not my point here. But if someone sees that I mean, we're talking about someone.
I'm doing an analogy right now. I'm gonna do an analogy. And this is what I was saying. So, for example, form analysis class, right? We have these different points. We have the main shadow, and then we have the core shadow. We have the form shadow. We have the reflected light. We have the highlight. The speck light. Okay. And then those are the main points. We have like how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 points. Oh, and 5 the main light. So there's 5 points. If the kid kept coming to the teacher and giving you only 3 of the points every single time, the teacher says, okay, you can't go forward. I'm not saying that you can't do it. The teachers, I agree with you. The teacher has to say, keep on saying, keep trying. You need to do it. Don't discourage the kid. Keep pursuing your art. If you want to do 10 years and learn all 5 points and to get those 5 points, then you did it. As long as you're doing what you want to do, that's perfect. That's beautiful. But when the kid gets to 3 points, keeps hitting those 3 points, he doesn't understand why it works this way, and he keeps retaking the class. I think it's a good thing that first of all the teacher's holding him back, but then after 4 classes. The kid is like now in what, $12,000 of debt because every semester was $3,000. So $12,000 of debt. It's not that the teacher's not saying you can't do it. It's that yes, you can do it, but you're not doing it. And instead of like saying, hey, you shouldn't do art, which they don't. They just pass them. They say, you know what, go forward.
Well, here's the thing. It's absolutely.
Tell someone not to do art, though. That's the thing. I think they come to the conclusion that they shouldn't do art.
No, it's not. I think. Let me just say this. One quick thing. because we're not talking about arts. When you're in school, you're supposed to be learning the fundamentals. It's a tool. It's like driving a car. It's not discussing I want to be a really big pilot. Is whether or not you can drive a freaking car. And if you want to be a pilot and you don't even know where the wheel is, somebody has to point it out. If you want to be a pilot, you better learn where the shift gear is and where the wheel is and where.
And we're not saying like
right?
don't.
It's technical stuff that you need in order to pursue your dream. So it's a tool that I'm giving you that you can use whatever the way you want to in the future. I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. But this skill, I'm in a position to say that you're not getting it. This is not right, and you're going to have trouble in the future because of it.
See,
that's my point. And you can do this constructively. You don't have to you don't have to be inside Spartan culture where the weaks get thrown down the cliff or anything. You can be constructive, and you can guide someone through that.
We're not saying
to completely be oblivious and let kids graduate with that level, for me, it's just criminal. It's criminal.
It's heavily irresponsible. Because even if you are the no child left behind, everybody passes and everything, and you encourage them all the way through school, and you never let them know that they fail, and everything is okay. The real world is not going to treat them like that. They're going to get tossed out. They're going to go in to get their jobs and go, well, I thought I was fine.
No, but I agree completely with Ross when he says people got to learn. People got to learn.
But I feel like they can learn by themselves, and that'll make them. They'll themselves know instead of.
Wait, are we arguing the same thing? I feel like we're arguing the same thing. Ross, you're for the Ross right now. You're for the let them know that they're screwing up. Ricardo's for the let them know screw.
No. I'm against teachers saying you shouldn't do this.
No, yeah, I'm too.
No, we're all against that.
You shouldn't do this. Yes, I'm just saying.
I would never tell my student not to pursue.
No, we never said that. None of us have said that.
Nobody said that. No, I actually said that you should encourage. It's how you teach. That's a whole new discussion. Is how you should teach. What's your line of thought when you're teaching?
Yeah, modus operandi.
Yeah, nobody's saying don't do this, don't pursue this. But if you're in the position to make that person a better at their craft, you should. You should do everything in your power to make it better, not just pass it because it's bad for the school and the money is already in, and it's bad if he fails because it's bad reputation for the school. That's just criminal in my perspective, and that's what happens.
Absolutely. So we all I think Peter's still kind of okay, but no, none of us ever suggested that any teacher should ever tell a student, especially one who's passionate about it, to give up a career in art or even to pursue passion in art. That's also heavily irresponsible, and it's not for the teacher to tell a student, hey, you should give up on this ever. And the same thing Ricardo's saying, the teacher has a responsibility in order to prepare that student, that teacher does not let that student go any farther than that student's capable of doing.
He doesn't let him go further. That's what we're trying to say. We're not saying don't kick him out, but don't let him go forward either. That's the important thing.
Yeah, don't
hold him back until they get it, because
don't put him in geometry before he knows how to do algebra. You keep him in algebra until he learns how to do algebra, then you put him in geometry.
You don't tell him that he can't do algebra either. You say you can do algebra, but you need to do algebra before you go to geometry. That's where the communication is getting tied up. We're not trying to tell him like, yo, don't pursue it.
And it's like you can do whatever you want with it. You can even throw everything in the garbage, but the positions, the teacher's position should be that.
I do agree with whatever we're talking about, but I remember. I remember during the conversation, though, at the beginning, I heard that teachers should tell the students not to pursue it.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
If I said that, yeah, my mistake. I meant to say, stay back and keep studying. Don't.
Yeah, he said holding him back for.
Not holding them back from pursuit, but don't go forward.
Yeah.
Like that's the importance of it. It's like
It was
You
not
shouldn't be
holding back from the dream. It was holding back on a specific area that it's not there yet in order to progress.
Here's the thing.
Right?
Imagine this. This is how it should work. 4 years in freshman year. That's how it is. See what I mean? If the kid can't get past freshman year because he cannot learn these things, don't pass him. That kid, it's up to him if he wants to do 10 years in freshman year. If he wants to do 10 years, that's up to him. But he's not passing.
Okay.
Until he gets the criterias. He needs to meet these criterias. If he doesn't, then don't pass him, because you're hurting him if you pass him. So it's up to him to drop out, basically. If he doesn't drop out, then he works hard, and hopefully he passes. Yeah.
Real quick.
No.
Geometry
Ross
is
is
not-
gonna say.
Geometry is not before algebra. You can't, if you don't know how to mess with variables in an equation.
Come on, dude. That was an expression. Don't go.
Come on, dude. Yeah, let's get past that. They give it to you.
No, I was the one who came up with it. Somebody in the comments was saying it. Geometry.
But yeah, I mean it will turn into.
Okay, Ross, go ahead, please. That was.
Yeah, I just heard somewhere really early in the conversation. I heard that teachers should have some kind of job to tell the student that this profession isn't for you if they've tried too long, and I don't believe in that.
Okay, good. I might have said that, and I let that slip, and I totally take that back. I don't know if I said that, but I know I'm very strongly against that. I mean, that's why I believe in teaching people. If I didn't, then why would I be? You know.
Yeah.
I totally believe in that, dude. I believe this. This is the thing. Anyone can be great if they put in the work.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it. What did I tell you today, Costa? What did I tell you?
What did you tell me today? We talked about a lot today, bro.
If you want to be great, you put in the work.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You can be great if you put in the work.
Dude, I think if you want to be great, you don't even. It's not even an option. I mean, if you're meant to, if in your head you want to be good, it's something you have to do. It's not something you should do.
Exactly.
I think that's the path for the great people we see around. They didn't have a choice. I mean, it was their life. That's why they were great. They lived it. It's like breathing and eating. They had to do it. It was necessary for their survival almost.
No, see that hold on. In the comments, failing them is not telling them that they're not good enough. Failing them says that they failed to succeed on that. It's not a matter when you tell somebody you're not good enough, you're looking at their potential. You're saying they don't have the potential to do that. When you fail them on a project or an assignment, or if you fail them in a class, it's not saying you don't have the potential. It says you didn't meet the standard.
I got
you
a
must try
great
harder.
metaphor. I got a great metaphor. This is perfect. This is a beautiful metaphor because I was a lifeguard, right? So I was a lifeguard. So imagine this. So imagine this. If you're going to lifeguard school and you're the only one who couldn't swim, and then they pass you, it's like you're going to be a lifeguard. You went through the test and you didn't pass any swimming tests or anything. You're going to be a lifeguard. You go forward. Now you have people's lives in your hands, and now you can't save them because you can't swim. It hurts everybody. It hurts everybody. So what we're saying is fail him until he learns how to swim and passes. Matter of fact, that's what happened. First year, I failed, became a pool attendant. I got to work at the baby pool and spent a lot of time at the swimming pool. Learned how to swim. Next year, I became a lifeguard. Passed. Perfect. Flying colors, you know. But don't pass the guy who doesn't know how to swim. They're passing kids who don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't stand in front of the door and go, "Hey, you can't come in here. You can't be a lifeguard." Nah, let me in. I'm gonna be a lifeguard. Like, don't let nobody tell you can't be. You know, that's it. So I'm sorry that if I said that, I totally missed that.
Okay. Yeah. So I just talked to Peter about it, and that was his point that he was trying to make.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's
Absolutely.
No, I'm sorry. I like the way people talk sometimes gets me, tickles me in the right spot. It actually has nothing to do with all that.
Okay.
It's just how people say certain things. I love it.
All right.
There's no implied anything on that. BT dubs. The way you say shit sometimes, Jay.
Ooh.
The way you say shit, just your cadence on it.
Okay.
It tickles.
All right. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You guys
Wait,
have
didn't
anything
you
else
wanna talk-
lastly to add? I think that's it.
Oh.
Guys, last questions maybe? Last words in the comments. Ross, what do you got to say about this whole entire thing? Any final words for the people? Because this was pretty heated.
But I kind of do apologize to my roommate for barking like that. He just wanted to know my space because he didn't really know me that well, and he wanted to communicate with all of us. So I think he just heard before that, that you said that, and so that's why it rubbed. Like he wanted to make his point, and he didn't do it very well. So yeah.
Oh, I got no hard feelings for the guy. I thought it was funny because the amount of times the miscommunication on that was
yeah, it was really miscommunicated.
It started to tickle me after a while. I loved it.
Right.
No, but dude, no hard feelings to your roommate, man. None at all. Not from me at least, and I don't think the other two hold any animosity.
Yeah, I'm good with it because like if he's feeling that way and maybe other people thought it of the same way and we can clarify.
That's the point of debating something, right?
Yeah, what the part that I wasn't I was frustrated with Peter was that we had to re-explain ourselves when, like we were in the middle of talking, and then we kind of just totally went off course, like hey okay, what are you doing, what's your name? It's like it was really off subject, and that was just kind of barging in kind of deal. But I'm more than happy to have him on the show. That's I don't care, but that was it. Let's look at the chat. I think that gets out pretty much everything there is to say about. Okay, cool. No comments. Great. Thanks, everybody.
No, there's a.
What do you mean no comments? They're all going all over the.
No questions though.
Oh, does anybody have any questions before?
I already asked the questions. Give it 10 more seconds. What about you, Ricardo? Cool. So you guys any have final words?
Yo, believe in the me that believes in you.
Yeah.
Oh man, as a therapist, I mean, working 10 years now on teaching, helping kids how to learn. It's really important to make the task match their own level,
Mm-hmm.
and never be negative, never do negative feedback. You always have to, and that's an art form, to juggle the difficulty of the task and their level of performance. If you take one, if it's too easy, they'll get bored. If it's too hard, they'll get frustrated, and that applies to every single human being. That's why we run away from failure, because we don't like it at all. So as a teacher, and we're talking about school, so as a teacher you have to be able to balance difficulty and performance. Just to wrap it up.
That's a really good point. Okay, and Ross, you said you want to say your last words, yeah?
Oh my God! Actually, something just blew up, but that's not related to our video. I'll probably tell you guys.
Oh, it's not related? You don't want to say it here?
It's not related. It's just something.
All right, and guys, watch Ross's video. It came out today. It's the new
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. One of my
go.
favorites so far.
Yeah,
check it out.
Sugar, spice, everything nice.
Yeah. Thanks everybody.
Hey,
And,
yo.
and I'll be on tomorrow morning. Possibly we'll see. With John Silva. Try to do the Friday morning show. We'll see you guys are on tomorrow. Thanks so much, everyone, and you guys know how to end the show, right?
No.
No.
Yeah,
How is it?
bada bop, peace.
Oh, bada bop boom.
Bada bop, beep.
Bada bop boom pow.
No, this.
Ah.
Right. No, you gotta put your heart into it.
Ba-da-bop.
Yeah.
Boom. Pow. Bop. Ba-da-bop. Boom.
Try it, Ricardo. I want you to do it. I don't think you've done it yet. Try it.
Pow.
No. Like that.
Dude, I can't even make out the sounds you're making.
Wait. Are you what?
Is that in Cambodian?
All right, Ross, your turn.
Is it off yet?
No, go.
No.
No.
I love Ross. He never knows what's going on.
Everybody.